Going from something like this to this, that's history. I mean, these kind of ruined all shoes for me. Hey guys, this is your friend Jeff here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about barefoot shoes and if it's the right choice for you. Ever since I was little, I never really enjoyed wearing shoes. I think it is something that's very common for Asian households, but we didn't wear shoes inside the house. So I would mostly wear shoes when it came to going to school or playing outside and such. And I couldn't wait to get my shoes off. I sort of accepted that foot pain, smelly feet, sweaty feet, and discomfort were just something that came with wearing shoes. So I remember this one time in college where I had to go into the studio and work on a project for almost 20 hours straight. And I remember I had these big chunky Wolverine boots. I just remember really wanting to get out of the boots. I remember having a really hard time concentrating actually because my shoes were so uncomfortable. So this led me on a journey to want to find more comfortable boots. So from my search online, I found the Lems Boulder boots. This was a company I had never heard about yet, and I was really intrigued. One of the things that they advertised was a foot-shaped toe box and a flexible sole. So they showed in one of their marketing photos somebody crunching up a boot, and that absolutely blew my mind. I remember the Wolverine boots I was wearing, I could barely bend them. I gave these a try, and this kind of blew my mind. I always thought that shoes were supposed to be uncomfortable. That was history. It ruined all shoes for me. I had discovered something that was this comfortable, and it is a laced up boot that I can tighten down. It's waterproof, it keeps my foot warm, and it's super flexible and comfortable. And I can wear it for hours and hours and not want to chuck them off once I get home. That really ruined not only boots for me, but all sneakers and shoes. That was really the start of my barefoot shoe journey. The first big reason that you should switch to barefoot shoes is pretty self-explanatory. It's comfort. So when you have shoes that are this flexible, allow your foot to move naturally, and that are shaped appropriately for your foot, it's just going to be a better experience than a lot of the conventional shoes that you have out there. And when you have a shoe that is less material, you're going to have a shoe that is also less hot, so it leads to less sweaty feet. I've found that because there's a lot less material, it feels a lot less heavy on my feet. It just feels more lightweight and less fatiguing, which I really like. So one of the second biggest reasons that you should switch to barefoot shoes is better balance over time. If you have been in conventional shoes for a while, you'll notice that a lot of them have a elevated heel. This is called the drop of the shoe. And for barefoot shoes, they are zero drop, which means there's no elevated heel. It's just all flat, which gives you the most amount of contact with the ground. And I've noticed that when I wear shoes that have a drop to them now, it feels like I'm almost falling forward. If you took the shoe away, you would essentially be a little bit on your tippy toes the whole time, which doesn't feel normal. You'll see how off balance you kind of feel. Another reason that you should switch to barefoot shoes is for stronger feet, ankles, and calves. Barefoot shoes allow you to be able to strengthen your feet and your calves by giving you more of an opportunity to use all the muscles in your feet, for your ankles to build up that strength and resilience, and for your calf to really help support natural foot movement as well. I remember back in high school, I had some foot pain and also ankle pain. So I went into the footwear store and they gave me an analysis of my running habits, and they mentioned that I was overpronated. So what they did is they gave me these inserts to my shoes, which canted my feet outwards to counteract that overpronation. But essentially what it did is, without those inserts, when I had different shoes on, I didn't have a practice of, building up strength in my ankles. I ended up relying on those inserts a lot and getting more ankle pain and more foot pain. If you take it slow, you can build up really strong feet and ankles that are very resilient and actually prevent a lot of injury. But you have to move at the right pace. So another big pro of switching to barefoot shoes is just a heightened sense of proprioception with your feet, which essentially is your awareness of your location and movement of your feet. If you think about wearing gloves, you have a little bit less dexterity than with your bare hands. And we talk about the sense of touch, right, as one of our five senses. That also includes the contact with the ground. So if you put essentially a really big stiff glove on your feet, you have less awareness of how hard you're hitting the ground, what is under your feet, the position of your ankles are. It's the right level of movement and balance and position that my body needs to be in to protect my own body. When you kind of put on barefoot shoes and transition slowly, you will get a heightened awareness of some of the things that are on the ground. And I used to roll my ankles all of the time. Now with having 5 years under my belt wearing barefoot shoes, so when I notice I'm starting to roll the ankle, I have the ability to bounce back and to respond to the environment a lot easier. One slight con of switching to barefoot shoes is that because a lot of these are smaller brands than the Nikes, Adidas, Pumas, New Balances, you are going to be paying a bit of a premium for what you get. It seems counterintuitive to have to pay a little bit more for less material, but you have to take in consideration that these are smaller brands that are building up their market share as people get more familiar with barefoot shoes and the benefits. Prices eventually will go down. And then if there's more brands popping up, there's going to be a little bit more competition to keep prices a little bit more affordable. The second con is that you are going to have some style limitations when it comes to barefoot shoes. There are not too many varieties of styles that you'll find right now. vivobarefoot is one brand where they're kind of pushing the style envelope for barefoot shoes a little bit. We have some young kids and they chose vivobarefoots from the options we showed them because they have some cool designs. So I would definitely look at vivobarefoots if you are more into the design of the shoe, but like any conventional shoe, sometimes the better the design, the higher the price tag. Another thing that you have to do with barefoot shoes is take it slow and also change the way that you walk if you have learned to heel strike a lot with those really cushy shoes. You could get injured pretty quickly if you heel strike with something that has little to no sole on it. You'll definitely feel the concrete. So I think a really good way to get into barefoot shoes is to try out something that first has a wide toe box and zero drop before getting into the really minimal soles. I think this one's about 4 millimeters, really thin, a lot of flexibility. But just kind of when you're switching from conventional shoes, let your feet kind of regulate slowly. Don't go too hard or else you might get injured. This was a really, really good way for me to enter into the barefoot shoe space, allowing me to sort of slowly acclimate my feet, letting my toes re-spread out as well. So would I recommend you switch to barefoot shoes? Absolutely yes, but with an asterisk. I'm not advocating that you get rid of all your shoes and replace them with barefoot shoes. I want you to take it slow. Try it out. Sometimes for some people, they really don't mind the way that their shoes are right now. If you fall into that bucket and you're kind of on the fence, maybe try one of the shoes out to see if it makes a big difference for you. It personally did for me, and I've noticed the health benefits. I mean, going from something like this is my old hiking boot to this, I don't know. You tell me. I know these are boots. I've gotten rid of all of my sneakers at this point, but there's gonna be no give on this. And funny enough, these are actually going on their way to donation. If you have any questions at all about my experience or any of the literature that I've read online, please drop a comment below. I would love to hear if you're on the fence about switching to barefoot shoes. And if you are, please let me know in the comments below. Smash the like button, which really helps me out on this channel as I'm trying to grow it. And subscribe for more videos to come. Thanks.